Hey there, church planters. This is Sam Choi, planting in the Twin Cities with North American Mission Board outside of Cities Church. So making this video to see if I could be of any service to any of you who want to make extra income in a very intentional, strategic way for gospel purposes and to provide for your family and your church plan. So I started driving Uber and Lyft about a month and a half ago. So I've done about 312 rides so far, and it has been fantastic. So let me give you a couple of reasons why I think it's a great gig for many church planners. Not all, but many. First, the flexibility. You have just unlimited flexibility. You want to take 3 weeks off, you can take 3 weeks off. You want to go crazy and work 60 hours that week, you can do that. And there's lots of different apps that you can do delivery for food, and like DoorDash and Postmates, Uber Eats, on top of Uber and Lyft for giving rides. There's courier services. I mean, you can get super busy. So if you need to make a lot of extra money, you can do that. If you don't want to work, you don't have to work. I have 3 other jobs, doing teaching and church planning, other things like that. And so I have like a certain goal every week. I try to make about $400 a week, and that gives what my family needs and a little extra for savings and giving. And so what I do is I try to work strategically at the best times that will maximize my income. And then when I get that, I'm done. So I usually work Friday mornings. Early morning airport runs are great from 4 a.m. to about 8 a.m. So I work 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. But tomorrow I'm not working because I hit my goal. So I just find so much joy in that, and I can focus on discipleship and meeting with other people. So there's a flexibility, which is huge for church planners. Number two is financially, you can make quite a bit if you know what you're doing. Now, a bare minimum, if you know what you're doing and you're in a mid-sized market, like I'm in the Twin Cities, and then if you're in a bigger market, you can maybe make more like San Fran or LA. But you can make about $20 minimum if you just know what you're doing, basic stuff. And that's not including expenses, of course. And then after that, if you know a little bit more and you drive at the best times, you can make probably another additional $5 an hour, just because you're going to hit different surges. Now, surges is when you basically are driving when there's high demand, and so the price goes up to tempt more drivers to come on to meet that demand. And so I try to only drive during surge time. So I'm making more than the minimum almost every single time. And then the last factor to make more is if you give outstanding service. Now, if I'm talking to you, you are full of the Spirit and you love people, you love Jesus. And so just by that, you're going to be better than 90% of the drivers out there. A lot of drivers out there aren't very talkative, and they're not friendly, and they're mean. It baffles me why, but just by being a light and being friendly, you will give above and beyond service. So I open doors, I shake hands, I pray for people when they let me. I since have been able to pray for a couple of people, share the gospel with one Muslim, and it's been a great opportunity to get to connect with different people. Now, so I'm still talking about finance. I'll talk about the gospel opportunities, but so financially, then you can make about additional maybe $5. So my goal is about $30 an hour, and over a week you can do that. And sometimes you're going to make less and sometimes more, but you can average around 30 if you really know what you're doing. So this takes a lot of research. You got to know your city. You got to know when people are at different events, when to turn on your app, when not to turn on your app. There's lots of resources. I'd love to help be a resource to any of you church planners out there for you to take care of your family. Third, and this is one I'm most excited about, I think church planners should do Uber and Lyft because you get to know your city. Not only do you know the geography, you get to know every nook and cranny, places that you would normally go, places that are really crazy and places that are normal or maybe upper class and lower class, just the whole spectrum. So you get the geographical lay of the land. But you get to get the full spectrum of people. I've had CEOs, investment bankers, inventors, lots of different people. And then I got poor college students, and I got the poor in my car. And you get the full spectrum in between. I've learned so much about so many different industries. I learned so much about different struggles and challenges with different industries. And for just a few minutes, maybe it's 5 minutes, maybe it's 50 minutes, maybe it's an hour, depending on traffic and the distance. That person is in your car, and you have a chance to influence them. you have a chance to pray for them. Even if you don't get to pray for them out loud, you're praying for them in your head, you're praying for them afterwards, and God's going to use those prayers mightily in some way that we may not fully see until eternity. And so there's that gospel opportunity right there to connect. And I've had every single letter in the LGBTQ spectrum in my car, and I've been able to love them and care for them. And you just get exposure. And often, no matter, depending on where you work or you play or live, you're going to be pigeonholed into certain kind of communities, and you're only going to interact with those people. But in doing Uber and Lyft, I've been able to interact with Muslims and every kind of religion, everybody. And as a church planner, being able to be all things to all people is huge. And so this has been fantastic for my family. And so that, just to give one final example when it comes to the financial thing in this video, on Saturday, I'm going to, there's an Ed Sheeran concert at the Excel Center. And I'm going to drive over there right before it ends, wait for the surge to jump up, turn my app on, get a ride, give them the best experience I can possibly, and then go home. And right there, it's going to have a really, really high return, ROI in that, and I'll be done. And so I just try to drive very strategically. Now, you can drive a lot more. I know people who make $1,200, $1,400 a week because they work full time and they work very hard and they do delivery and other things, and that's possible too. But if you want to do part-time work on the side, you can. This is a great opportunity. So hopefully this is a helpful video, and God bless you. And I pray that if you go this route, that God will give you many, many doors for fruitful ministry, and will help you and your family flourish in this interesting, challenging time we're all in. Thanks so much.